Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined in the studio today by Shaka, Hislop and Stevie Nicol. Brilliant weekend of football right across the board. We'll focus first what happened in the Premier League, because I think it's fair to say there is definitely a title race on after Manchester City once again dropped points, of course, after that 3-3 draw against Spurs. Liverpool coming from behind to beat Fulham. Arsenal, meanwhile, with that win against Wolves, meaning you take a look at the top three, there's just 4 points that separate them. For Manchester City, question marks as to why they aren't as convincing as they were last season. It's 3 Premier League games now without a win. You have to go back to April 2017. That's over 6 years, Stephen, since that last happened. 3 Premier League games without a win, despite leading in all of them. That's the first time since November 2019, and 8 goals allowed in 3 games. Then they have surrendered the league 6 times in 3 matches. Mario Melchiot is with us, but Mario, forgive me if I don't go to you first on this, because Stevie, ahead of the show, said to me, Dan, there's 3 main points I want to make about Manchester City's defending, and started telling me them, and I was like, no, wait! I don't want to hear them twice.
And a surprise move, you don't tell the story correct.
Well, that was definitely the story. OK, Stevie, so what are the 3 points?
I've forgotten. Can't remember.
That you'd like to make about City's defending. Where's it going wrong?
Well, as you know, there are 3 particular problems.
Right.
Yeah. OK, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Really?
Yeah.
No, seriously though.
So,
well, the first thing is
seriously.
The first thing is you've got players who individually are not at the best, and in particular, I'm thinking of Guardiola, who's playing left back. Who, if you ask, I've never met a centre back ever who wants to play wide, who wants to play football, or wants to play full back, because they don't like being out there in the wide positions. And so, is it a shock that Guardiola is making mistakes? I guess you could say no. The other one is Diaz. This guy was Footballer of the Year not long ago. And at the weekend, all he had to do was one-on-one with Lo Celso to stop a goal.
Right.
And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So now you've got half your back 4 who are not able to do the job. So straight away you wonder why they're letting goals in. All you need to do is get somebody with the defenders to be moving their positions accordingly.
Right.
And so that they're always in the game. So if the ball's coughed up, they're in a position where they can do something about it, where they can either win it, or they can close somebody down, or they can hold somebody up to let everybody get back. And the last one is, you've got to choose the right people in the right positions. So the goal that they lose with Son comes from a set piece. And who's one of the last guys to defend? Doku. That is down to the coaching staff. You can't put Doku in a position where he has to defend in order to stop a goal. Because as you saw, regardless of how much pace he has, he tries to win the ball when he doesn't need to. He's so quick that all he's got to do is drop off. And again, a defender would hold Heung-min Son up to let others get around. So these are really basic things. This is not rocket science.
So given that it's so basic, is it easy to fix?
It should be straightforward to go about it in a manner where you put the players on the training field and you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And listen, we always go back to the George Graham Arsenal back 4. You know, Dixon and all of these guys, Winterburn. And they were sick to death of doing the same stuff time after time after time. But guess what? Nobody could get through them.
Right.
Because of it. So it's fixable, but only if you actually see it and do something about it.
Mario, I'm going to repeat the point I made yesterday because I thought it was a really good one. Every time that Manchester City are on the back foot, when the opposition are attacking them, you feel like the opposition are going to score.
Yeah, but that's also the way they stand, right? Because they always commit themselves really open. And I think in this game also, you know, what Stevie was saying, there's too much space between the lines. And that is actually what City was really good at, to keep it really compact. But also we have to understand, this is the game where they play against Ange. You know, when you play against a Spurs team, the way Postecoglou has made his team, he has won. He battles you on the one-on-one. He does not care. He takes a lot of risk, Because, guys, look, we're watching a team now that he goes 1v1 if he has to, and he does that. He does not even care about that. And then he plays the high line, and also you saw him he must have practiced with his team, also letting them know when to drop the line. Because as much as he plays a high line, he also makes them understand how to drop. Because you play with two centre halves, and I thought actually they were going to get in trouble, Davies and Emerson. But the way they played, because they stayed so narrow together and they kept themselves in the game, I think that's what made for neutral exciting. But as you watch at City, they were too open. They got exposed, and they normally don't get exposed like that because normally they come back, they win the ball back quickly. That's what they set up. They always set up to win the ball back quickly, and it normally goes down to 15 seconds. You get the time to win it back. If you don't, you drop off. But then when you are too open, that's when they come and hurt you. And what Stevie said, how could Doku be at a corner, marking the outside line and running against the fastest player of Spurs, knowing that he is one of the fastest as well? But no, as a defender, I was a defender myself, I would not put my attackers in that position. At least put one of the defenders, one of them, like a left or a right-sided guy, to put him there, because normally you put like the less tallest player on the outside of the box, and they put Doku there, and I was surprised because he did not know what to do defensively.
The picture, however, isn't about Manchester City's defence that's dominated the headlines back in England. It's Erling Haaland and his face so angry at the referee when, of course, he could have played the advantage, didn't play the advantage when Jack Grealish was through. What's interesting about this is that the FA have come out today and they're charging Manchester City as a whole for their conduct and not Erling Haaland as an individual. Did you feel he should be punished here, Shaq?
Well, anybody who put their hands in the referee should be punished, just as a matter of general principle, in all honesty. Saying that, in terms of charging Manchester City...
So should Haaland be individually banned for a game for this?
If he puts his hands on the referee, yes. But where I sympathise with City is, as I was watching this game, I thought the referee...
Well, he gestured, didn't he?
Gestured play on. And then it almost as though he recognised that Grealish was through on goal and blew the whistle. And I thought, in the middle of a game, right at that point, you understand the emotions boiling over. So I sympathise with most from Manchester City, how they remonstrate, how they react. I cannot defend putting hands on the referee in the manner that, well, certainly Erling Haaland at the very least did. That, for me, is something that warrants addressing, but not much else.
The Spurs players kind of stopped, didn't they? And did the referee kind of think that the play had kind of naturally come to an end?
If the Spurs players stop, that's on them.
No, but at the point they blows the whistle, there's three Spurs players around Jack Grealish, aren't there? That's what I'm saying. And is that what's going through his mind?
The only thing I could think of was he thought that Grealish was offside.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of.
But then the linesman didn't raise his flag. I was thinking that as well. The linesman didn't raise his flag.
Never raised it. But because I can't think of any other reason. The other thing I would say, though, is, yeah, if somebody puts their hands on the referee, then absolutely you should get punished. But nobody wants to see 3 and 4 and 5 players around the referee. I think we all agree on that. However, there are situations, and if ever there was a situation where you have to be lenient and just let it go, that's the occasion. Because there cannot be an official or anybody on a board or anything else who cannot look at this and say this was just wrong. And so you have to take a step back and do the right thing and not be officious and, well, this is what we do if players go round the referee. There are certain situations where I think not allowed's not the word, but you should just let it go. Anybody puts their hands on, absolutely, I'm all for it. Hit them with whatever you want. But you can't turn round and start fining players as a group or a club as a group when something like that happens.
Erling Haaland did find the funny side to one meme that was made available today. I don't know if you've seen this, Mario. It is quite good.
What about his hair, was it?
It wasn't about his hair, no. It was from...
Oh, my God. It was for me...
Edvard Munch's scream, of course.
The moment was interesting.
Which was very, very good. Go on, Mario.
No, but you know why? Like what you guys talked about. Why did the ref have to wait that long, guys? Come on now. Come on, you can't. If you wait that long, let the play go on. And this is not something. Look, as much as we are professionals in playing the game, he's also a pro in understanding the game. You know, like Stevie said, like offside, okay, that could be the goal. But then why you wait so long? Let the play go on, and then later on you decide. And then, okay, of course, hey, it's not right what they did, but this was proof of emotions. The emotions were right up there because Haaland hadn't scored yet, so you know his emotions going to be high. And then you have everybody that's surrounded. Haaland, it looked like he was not even screaming about what was happening. It was two things that were happening. Him not scoring and his team not winning. Those were the two things I could see the emotional side.
We wanted to compare how Manchester City did to the start of last season to this season. And actually, there isn't too much in it when you take a look at the points that they've gained, even the goals that they conceded. They've only conceded 2 more goals. They had 6 more clean sheets last season. It's not a massive difference. And I want to talk about how that maybe affects the title race a little later on when we discuss what's going on with Arsenal and Liverpool. But what's interesting now, of course, Manchester City have drawn 3 in a row. They go into now a big game at Villa Park. There's no Rodri, there's no Jack Grealish, of course. Doku's a doubt with injury. So I asked everyone for their predictions going into this clash. Remember, there's a full round of midweek games. This one is on Wednesday. Let's take a look at how everybody thought they were going to do. I've gone for a draw. Shaka's gone for a draw. Mario and Stevie have gone for victories. Why draw, Shaq?
I just feel Unai Emery continues to do an incredible job with Aston Villa. And Manchester City, as we've discussed, as we've seen, have problems. And a lot of them by their standards. But still, I feel that City are good enough to at least get a draw. And Villa are too good to lose, if that makes sense, kind of given how the expectations around both of these clubs.
Has Shaka convinced you?
No, I think the way Aston Villa play is going to suit Manchester City. And Man City cannot make and create and have the amount of chances they had in the first half in particular against
Right.
and miss them again. So I think, again, it's a backlash. You know, City will want to come out after that result of the weekend. And as I said, because of the way Villa play, they play open, they want to get forward, and that will leave holes. And City won't miss the amount of chances they did against Spurs. I don't see it.
Mario, you got full confidence in City, yeah?
Yeah, I think the speed up front. I think what Spurs did to them, and I think they tried to do the same. And I hope, you know, look for players never to be injured. But if Doku is available, he is like one of the exciting boys I think in that team. Okay, you got Foden as well. So I think going forward, I'm talking about the sidewalls, and of course Haaland. I don't have to highlight. So I think for Villa is in a good form. Yes, we cannot doubt about that. And Emery is doing incredible. Watkins is their main guy, and he keeps on scoring for them. But I still think going to Villa is... they also play a very high line. They take a lot of risk, and I think that's what is suiting them. But that also suits Manchester. So I want to see what's going to happen when City face them, because I think they might get exposed there.